before we get too deep into all of the prompts, I need you to figure out what your why is, why you're doing this. With anything that you do, you have to have your why. So we've helped you find the time. I've given you those first 9 that you want to do every single day, and they can be quick, although you're going to want to spend some time on them. But I want you to be able to define why you're doing this. And maybe this is an easy one for you. Maybe doing a journaling series and spending some quiet time with the Lord every single morning is easy for you, and you're already in the habit. But there might be some of you out there who this is like new territory. Taking 5 minutes to do this every single day, it's kind of like exercise, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do it. So that's when you really have to rely on your why. So I want you to write down today and journal about your why. What's your why? And it could be multiple things. I'm going to give you a for instance in my life. So for me, doing the journaling and spending quiet time with the Lord every single day, it wasn't actually that hard of a decision to make. You know, I grew up as a Christian. I knew it was something important for me to do. And as soon as I started it, like, it automatically felt amazing. And I sometimes joke that I should be a nun because I feel the best when I'm in my like prayer space and I'm spending time with the Lord. Like, sometimes there's days when outside of there, it's just everything doesn't work. But inside there, I always feel great. I'm not going to be a nun. I shouldn't be a nun. But anyway, I would be a not very good nun. No, maybe I'd be good. I don't know. That's not the point. So for me, this wasn't the hardest part, but there are other things that have been hard. So for instance, something else that I talk about a lot, faith, family, and fitness and wellness and eating well and that type of thing. That's hard, right? It takes 21 days to make a habit. It takes over 30 days to really try and solidify it. And then you have to keep up with it for the rest of your life. And I'm 45 now. My baby was not too long past being born. So I would say it's about 5 or 6 years now, 5 years now. I really kind of changed things in my life. And I had always been very healthy in terms of exercising. I always knew exercise was important, good endorphins and things like that. And I always tried to be good with food, but really didn't know. And I hadn't gone to nutrition school yet. And that's when things really changed in my life. And actually in my book, Where's My Crown? For Acting Like Everything's Fine, I tell the story of, you know, how I jump-started my path to finally getting rid of those last 5 or 10 pounds forever and feeling the best of the best and that kind of thing. So you can read that book if you want. But my why for doing that and for sticking with it and for those days when I don't want to exercise and I don't feel like eating right and I don't feel like fasting, which for me, fasting is a big part of my life because the research that goes into it, I know that for somebody like me who's an APOE4, it's really important that I do that. My why is my mom. So when my mom was diagnosed with dementia when she was in her early 60s, and she probably had it in her late 50s. She died at 73 last year. And when we were getting her brain scanned and talking to the doctor afterwards, he showed me these dark spots on her brain scan. And he said, those have a lot to do with lifestyle, mainly stress and lifestyle. And my mom did the best that she could. You know, I think all of our parents do, and we do as well. But she didn't know. We know a lot more now these days, right? And I vowed to not have that happen to my brain. And it wasn't because of me. It wasn't because of being special, me being selfish. It was because going through losing my mom for the 11 years that I went through that was so hard on me. And she didn't really get to be present for me having babies, for me becoming a mother. And she would have been the best grandmother in the entire world. 100%. She loved me so much. She was the best mom. We still talk about that. Like some of the things that my teenage daughters are going through. It's like, wow, if my mom were here in her prime to be able to talk to them, they'd be in such a better shape because she could get through to kids so well. So she would have been the best grandma. She would have been the best support to me as a mom going through that, you know, going through infertility and adoption and all of that. And I just knew that if there was anything that I had control over, and we don't have control, right? We know that. But if there was anything that I could do to not have to put my daughters, my son too, through what I went through losing her so early, that I would do it. And I know from the research, and I know from people who are a lot smarter than me, diet and exercise, nutrition, exercise, sleep, being social, having a faith-based practice. Did I say sleep again? Sleep. All of that is what we can control. I have a gene, one gene, which doesn't mean that I'm going to get it. Most of us have it. It's not that scary to have one of the genes for late onset Alzheimer's, but I don't have to turn that gene on. I am in control. I can work on the stuff that is hard sometimes, like, not eating cake all the time, not having all the sugar, not drinking all the time, because that's really, really dangerous too. Exercising, sleeping, all of those things, I have some control to be able to make my kids never have to go through what I went through. So that's my why when it comes to health, nutrition. And part of it is this too, because there is that science that those who have a really, really strong faith and those who spend time with a higher power are in a better space. So I need you to, like that, I would journal that out and write that if I was doing this prompt with you right now. I need to write out your why. Why are you, and maybe it's not this. Maybe there's something else going on in your life. Maybe it is nutrition. Maybe it is health. Maybe it is getting a new job. What is your why? And I think that I can use my why, my mom, and seeing what she went through for just about anything hard in my life. That's always going to be my why, because I don't want my kids to suffer, because I don't want them to have to go through it, because I want to be a great grandmother and be around and be active and constantly be with them and always be a light in their lives. Sometimes I'm a darkness in their lives, but I'm trying. So do your first 9 and then do what is your why. Talk to me about what your why is. You can put it in the comments here, but I really want you to journal it out. I know today was a little bit longer. I'll try and keep them short. Share this. And also, if you're interested in getting Where's My Crown, I have a few more of those copies left, signed copies that I send out for $9.98. You can message me. You can go to my website, kirsten-lindquist.com. You can order it there. You can do my email through there, and we'll figure it out together. Okay. God bless. Have a good one.